Hi guys, welcome to the video. Star Trek Discovery, Season 4, Episode 11. We're nearly there, nearly at the end. Yeah, this episode, not good. Episode opens, and we have Burnham, and she's making one of those really intense captain's logs, where she's only talking very quietly, almost whispering intensely, like smouldering intensity. And they have 29 hours until the DMA destroys everything. And Burnham says, as captain, she's never been more afraid. Okay, so Space Jesus is afraid. She's afraid of what will happen as they embark on this mission to try and discover what the 10C are. And the 10C are inside what's known as the hyperfield. I mentioned it in my last video. It's a region of bullshit in space. And the Discovery go to a dead planet, okay, a gas giant that's no longer a gas giant. It's just a rocky core in the middle. The size-wise, I don't think that works out, but it doesn't matter. It's in orbit of a star with Dyson rings. You remember the Dyson sphere from the Next Generation? Well, this time it's Dyson rings. She's stating that it's a very long captain's log. I'm not going to lie. I had a load of screen grabs from it because she just went on and on and on, setting up all this information. And she says the Dyson rings are made of the same substances as the DMA controller. So she has a gut instinct. There may be some connection there. Yeah, I think that's blatantly obvious. That it's made of the same material, so it must be the species 10C. It must be their doing. And yeah, and we have another power walk scene. Power walking. Oh god, it's so stupid. This episode is it makes reference to Detmer and how awesome and amazing she is. So it's nice to see them moving away from Burnham being the greatest ever to sounded like Dimcock then, to someone else being the greatest ever. And on the way, Ensign Bad Teeth Tull, she says something like fly great or fly amazing or fly awesome because you're so brilliant. And then there's more power walking. This is another power walking scene. Power walking. Cuts away to Tarka and Book. Book saying, I think we need to we need to get through the hyperfield at the same time as Discovery. Is there a way to do that? And Tarka's like, you know what? Yeah, I've got a great way because I'm such a fucking genius. Says, oh, we're going to hitch a ride on Discovery, attached to Discovery, and Book goes, on my planet there was this thing. Yeah, it was called a night spray. And it will leech onto something, but not like a parasite or anything. It weren't no gross. It will basically, it'll latch onto you and follow you around everywhere. And that's what they decide to do. They're going to attach themselves to Discovery. Tarka needs to put a patch, like a computer patch, to stop Zora the Explorer from being able to detect them. So it's a two-man mission. They've got to do it together. They've got to work together. Because they can't do it on their own, so they've got to work as a team, Burnham goes to the shuttle bay and the president goes, hey, good luck. I think the delegates are being a bit, they're a bit uncertain about Burnham's plan. And she goes, well, I have to be right because I'm Space Jesus. Vulcan lady's there. She says, Godspeed, Michael Burnham. Godspeed, Space Jesus. In awe of Space Jesus. Turns out the president of the United Earth, says that, look, I don't like your plan. I think it's a bit shit. And I'm going to, I'm going to basically say, I don't like it. And Burnham just goes, well, it's our best shot because I'm Space Jesus and I know everything. So they beam onto the shuttle and off they go. And this one's just like, yeah, I'm not impressed. I prefer my plan. Fucking stupid. So they're flying through the gas giant and Culber says something quite incredible. Really? Thank God the laws of physics are the same outside the galaxy as they are inside the galaxy. I'm thinking, why wouldn't they be? But, whatever. Sure, I'll let that one slide. Why not? They land on the gas giant core the planet where the 10C come from, and it would appear that the 10C were somewhat were like gas dwellers, and they land on the planet, and they see this really big building. They call it a building. I call it like just a giant, massive spaghetti. Yeah, that's where the 10C are basically, or were, because it would appear that they've entered some sort of mass graveyard. Saru starts hallucinating, and he starts hallucinating real bad, seeing these weird tentacle things, and he... I had to get this screenshot because it is absolutely brilliant. It looks like Saru's just gone, hold on a minute, I've just crapped my suit. It made me chuckle. It made me chuckle. You know, I can't deny that. It made me chuckle. Everyone, Saru's starting to hallucinate, and he's starting to see things, and they come across these structures in the ground, and it seems like the bones of perhaps the 10C. It's like a mass grave, basically, with the bones sticking out of the ground. And Culber, I'm not joking, Culber turns around and says, I believe we're on the cusp of a giant bone. And I burst out laughing at that point, but it got better because he said he's scanning the bones. Yeah, he's on the cusp of a very big bone, and he's scanning the bones, and apparently they're flexible bones like cartilage. I'm thinking that guy's got it on the brain, hasn't he? So there's clearly been some sort of disaster on this planet. The 10C have suffered some form of disaster. We cut back to Discovery, and, well, the president lady goes to this dude, forget whether he's an admiral or a doctor, I don't really give a shit at this point, and says, look, your cynicism or sarcasm or basically your bedside manner sucks. I'm trying to keep these delegates together, and you keep, being abrupt and tactless. And she gives him a bollocking for being him, which I found quite hilarious, to be fair. Basically puts him in his place, and this is, everybody here needs to feel supported. Everybody here needs to feel supported, and your dry, tactless sarcasm is not cutting it at all. Naughty boy. Once again, this episode just cuts back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like the writers think we have no attention span. It's a little insulting. I've got a great attention span. What was I doing? Discovery. Right, okay. So Tarka and Book managed to beam onto Discovery undetected. He's using this thing to see through the wall like an X-ray. The Vulcan lady and the president of the Earth, United Earth, bollocks, whatever it is, she's basically saying, I don't like Burnham's plan, I think he's a bit shit, and I don't think it's going to work. And it cuts back. Within the space of like a minute, it cuts back to the 10C planet thing, whatever it is. They're going through this room. There's a load of things like floating jellyfish up in the sky. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know what they are. We don't know what they are. I suppose we'll find out at some point. It turns out everybody else starts hallucinating except Detmer. Okay, Detmer's not hallucinating, and they can't figure out why. There's just no idea why. It cuts back again to Tarka and Book. And Book's like, I think we need to get that president lady on our side. I'm going to go talk to her. You do the patch thing. Yeah. And he's like, are you nuts, man? What the hell? They'll throw us in the brig. And he's like, no, I don't think they will. Even though we're wanted criminals, I don't think we'll throw us in the brig. So I'm going to go talk to her, see if I can get her on side. Cuts back to Burnham and the landing party, and they figure out that it's there's dust that's seeping through their EV suits, because the EV suits just don't know what this dust is. They figure out how to block it, so Detmer's all amazing and she's not being affected because she hasn't touched the dust. That's the simple reason, is she hasn't touched the dust. Burnham's hallucinating, it's hilarious. Culber's hallucinating, it's hilarious. Can you guess what happens next? It cuts back to Discovery. Tarka is using the X-ray thingamajig and looking in on, my favourite character of all time is Jet Reno. Fucking Jet Reno. Fucking hate Jet Reno. She's such a bland, uninteresting character, and she's fucking annoying as fuck. Anyway, she's talking to Ensign Badteeth. Tull saying like, oh, Detmer's so amazing, I think she's just like the best ever. And Reno's going, well, why don't you talk to her? Toll's going like, oh, no, I don't want to talk to her. Reno says, well, look, you talk to her, but don't big her up too much. I kind of got that, to be fair. Score 1 for Reno. If you big someone up, they're probably going to disappoint you. And I think Toll's got a major crush on Detmer, like a proper major crush. Tarka stares at a microwave, and it's a replicator. It's a fucking microwave. I don't get it. I don't get the whole microwave thing. It even goes ding at the end. I just don't get the microwave thing. What was... Call a replicator a replicator. Don't turn it into a fucking microwave. And for some reason, he's looking at it going, okay. I can use that for some nefarious purpose. Cuts back to the planet where they're still hallucinating. And then cuts back to Discovery. And Jack Reno's going, I'm the best engineer. I'm sarcastic as hell. What the hell is going on here? And the fish-eyed guy, the guy who sneezed on him in season 2, or sneezed in the turbo lift, and everyone said, hey, you catching the cold? And he goes, I believe I am. He says to Reno that the replicators aren't working. The microwaves that are linked throughout the ship, they're not working properly. And she's just like, I just used that. That something's not right here. Something's going on. Cuts to Book. Book has lured the president of the United Earth to a corridor, and she's just like, I'm going to stick a knife in your face because I don't like you. And look, I'm sorry I went after them, but if I didn't, then we had a chance of stopping them. It didn't work, but maybe we wanted to give everyone the best chance. And he talks her around, and she goes, okay, what do you want me to do? He goes, well, I want you to stay in constant communication with me, please. And that's it. Just let me know when Burnham's back, because I want to stare at her, because she's my crush. I fucking love her. Cuts back to the Tennessee planet, and they're looking at these kind of like, there must be bones or storage compartments, or I don't know, they could be fucking jellyfish for all I know. And they discover it's a Tennessee nursery, okay? Because the dust gets into their system, they enables them to feel the emotions of the Tennessee, because it's all about feelings. It's feelings. And they come across this nursery. They decide to open their suits to the dust because they know how to block it now. But they decide to open their suits, and they all touch it, and they go, I feel love. I feel safety. I feel security. And it's just all about the feelings. Anyway, oh my god. So they're all touching it, and they're all overacting. I mean, it's just like, oh my god, there's feelings. The Tennessee have feelings, and I think the whole point is, if the Tennessee have feelings and they're aware of what they're doing, why the hell are they doing what they're doing? Like anybody gives a fuck. But some of the expressions they pull are just absolutely hilarious. Cut back to Tarka. He's fiddling with a panel, and Reno comes in and goes, what the hell are you doing here? And he's hiding under this table. It is quite funny, I suppose, if you got that sort of sense of humour. Cuts back to the planet Tennessee gas giant thingy midjig. They basically know how to communicate with Tennessee now, because the dust that is located in different areas outside where there was the planet natural disaster, gas giant natural disaster, all the emotions out there were negative, and the ones in the nursery were positives. So they figure that they can use those to decipher the language. It's kind of like the Rosetta Stone. So it's a decoding mechanism. There's certain types of dust create the certain types, I can't believe I'm saying this, certain types of emotions. They can use that to communicate with Tennessee, because it's all about the fucking feelings. And that's not even the best bit. When they were on the planet, Detmer had another backstory moment, but it wasn't a boulder in the face or anything like that. It was when I was younger, my dad had such tragic backstory. She's on the shuttle, and she turns to Captain Burnham and with a straight face says, I'm sorry that I let my personal feelings interfere with the mission. She let the personal feelings interfere with the mission. That's all they do on fucking Discovery. Burnham's like, any more talk like that, and I'm gonna demote you because feelings are important, okay? And Detmer's so amazing for some fucking strange reason, I don't know. Anyway, they make it back to Discovery. They tell the delegates, or some of the delegates, because, you know, can't have too many delegates on the screen at the same time. They tell them about the Rosetta Stone. They've figured out, well, the dust creates certain emotions, and they're able to, you know, translate the emotions of 10C. I'm sitting here in absolute disbelief that I'm having to utter these words. But you know what I think when I get a little bit like this? You know what I think? We're nearly there! You know, the guy who got bollocked earlier by the president for being dry and insensitive and, you know, tactless, he has a slight hint of tactlessness about him. And he gets this look from the Federation president. It's just like... And he goes, but good job, marvellous job. Stamets breaks it down for everybody and basically says that the way we can communicate with 10C is through feelings. It's wonderful. I like to communicate something with my feelings. Anyway, everyone fucks off, and Burnham's like leaning against the wall going, and Book's going, yeah, Michael, I'm right behind the wall. I'm watching you. Don't you dare do a striptease. I'll have to come through it. And Detmer's in the mess hall, and she's having a glass of, I don't know, Romulan ale, blue drink, whatever it is. And Tull comes over and says, hey, you want some company? She's a lot more awkward than that, but I'm just going to get through this because... And she's like, oh my, I always like some company because I'm so amazing. And they sit down and have a drink together. Culber goes to Burnham and says, look, I'm not coping very well with all this. I'm not coping very well with all this because I felt something back in that 10C nursery, and I don't know, I'm just not dealing well with this. And Burnham goes, well, you know, we're not dealing with anything very well right now. So Discovery is flying through epileptic warp at the end of the episode, you know. Oh, God. My eyes hurt. Can you not tell? Book beams onto his ship, back onto his ship, and says, all right, mission successful and all of that, you know. Lo and behold, they kidnap Reno. And Book's like, what the fucking hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing here? And she's like, don't you just love an unplanned hostage? And Tarka's like, yeah, because I'm badass. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. What was this episode like? I've just broke down the basic plot for the episode, and it is all about the feelings. So the way they're going to decipher 10C's language is through emotion. My last video had the little subtitle there of feelings in space. But to be honest with you, this is more relevant to that. It's just feelings in space. You get closer to knowing what the 10C are. They're clearly massive creatures. And it's kind of like, it reminds you of the Avians from Enterprise Season 3. Xindi species variant. Again, just a huge threat. Physically and, you know, narrative-wise, I suppose. Yeah, the episode was shit, but there was some things I just laughed out loud at. Absolutely laughed out loud at. And that's it. That's Season 4, Episode 11 of Discovery. They find 10C's home, and they feel some feelings. That's it. They feel some feelings and discover that feelings are the way to go. Oh, we're nearly there, and that's all I can say. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. Really means a lot, and it really helps the channel to grow. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've not already, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye-bye for now.
I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. And as I fall back to my shelter, I know I'll only find peace in your smile.